Babe, I don't need to use a condom, yeah. I'm very good at pulling out. Trust me? अरे ये pleasure वैजर women के लिए नहीं होता है. It's just for men. Every DM that I get asking me, is this supposed to hurt? How do I get pleasure from sex? Who am I? And what am I doing here? Mom, please give me a pad. It's that time of the month. Period pain के लिए इतना क्या रो रही है? Women have delivered 10 to 12 children in olden times. What you're worried about a stupid period pain? Women have to have sex only to have babies and grow a family, beta. You're a woman and you're attracted to a woman. Did you get help? You're bisexual. I don't think that's normal. Sorry, थोड़ा ज़्यादा dramatic हो गया. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Taboos. When is something labeled as a taboo? Who decides this? Is there a list? Are there commandments? Is there some professor who tells you what a taboo is? Who am I? And what am I doing here? If you're thinking that I'm here to give you a motivational story and tell you about my success and my achievement in life, I'm sorry. I may just disappoint you here. I'm here to tell you about the Josh that drives me in my life. The Josh that wakes me up every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Divya Vora. I'm an obstetrician and gynecologist, which means I deal with women's reproductive health and its issues. I help them get pregnant and take care of their entire pregnancy, their health and also their fetus's health, and help them deliver their baby. Alongside, I'm also a content creator. I like putting out information regarding women's health and its issues. I talk about all those things that you should have been taught about in school, but were not. Periods, vaginas, sex, pleasure, orgasms, contraception, abortions, consent. And I do it in a very friendly and engaging way. Basically why I'm the girl doc next door. Let me tell you a little about my childhood because that's where all this stems from. I was in 7th grade. I was basically 13 years old. I had a friend over who was showing me a porn video on a computer that I had recently just bought and I was showing off to her about. I instantly deemed what I saw as disgusting because that's how our minds are wired, right? And as we all know, curiosity kills the cat. My mother entered the room and almost killed me. At that point, I opened multiple encyclopedias and tried to learn everything myself. So much so that I became the sex educator of school. Nowadays, I tell my mom about this stuff, but that's a story for another time. So I want you to ask. I don't want you to be that person who has to go along Google and learn on that or learn from encyclopedias. I want you to learn about your body and sexuality in the most scientific way. Inquire, educate, empower. The story is about 3 years ago when I had just entered residency and I was in the labor room doing duty when a woman literally came in directly from the lift and I have held her baby in my hand. No time to prepare, no time to do any catheterization, no time for anything. She comes and she says, "Doctor, मुझे पता नहीं था ये बच्चा मुझे हो रहा है." When I asked this woman कि अगर आपको बच्चा चाहिए नहीं था, आपने कॉन्डम यूज क्यों नहीं किया? आपको पता नहीं चला कि आपका पीरियड नहीं आ रहा है? She had no idea about condoms and contraception. She had no idea that it's not normal to not get your period for 9 months. That's just the state of our country. That's just the state of the education women in the country have. And I am not exaggerating this situation. Now, if someone getting a degree in sexual and reproductive health has to self-learn and self-teach about so many aspects in life, what about that little girl living in the deepest pockets of the country? What about who will teach her about her body? So here it is. This is why I do what I do. अब आपको लग रहा होगा बहुत बड़े-बड़े सपने देख रही है ये लड़की. How can a simple girl standing in front of the camera, making videos on a platform and putting them out, make sure information and knowledge like this reaches a girl in a small rural area of the country? Every DM that I get asking me, is this supposed to hurt? How do I get pleasure from sex? How do I avoid a pregnancy? My period really hurts. What do I do? How do I orgasm? Is this happening due to menopause? My abdomen really hurts. Should already have had an answer out there. Our schools should have taught things that are being taught by content creators right now. And because it wasn't done earlier in life, I believe I want to be that person who does it now and relay it via you who helps me do it too. Let me tell you about a DM I very recently got from Pakistan. This woman told me that she's not getting any pleasure from having intercourse with her husband and she did not have a way of talking to him about it. She could not tell her in-laws or husband about going to the doctor and couldn't get herself examined. And she really requested me to have an online consult with her and help her out. That is the amount of fear there is with talking about pleasure as a woman. The fear there is to go and seek help. Let me tell you about this very small incident that occurred during my residency in obstetrics and gynecology in my very early years. A woman who has had 3 children comes to me and says, "Doctor, मेरा ना बच्चा आना बंद करवा दो." She was basically asking for a sterilization operation in which we clip the fallopian tubes so that pregnancy does not occur. It's a permanent method of contraception. She basically did not know about the temporary methods of contraception, and her husband did not want to use a condom or would have come to know if she was taking any pills or took any injection which was expensive for her. I was shocked at the behavior of this man, and I was shocked that someone had to come to me for such an option eventually when her partner was just not supporting her and her body would have given way because she was so frail and fragile. I thought about this, and we haven't been taught how to communicate these things to our patients. So I discussed this with some of my seniors and I gave her all the options of contraception and I told her कि आप ये गोली ले सकते हो, and she was so scared that she couldn't even take the tablets back home. By telling you this incident, I'm trying to explain to you that there are not just one person like this, there are a lot of women who are dealing with this even in higher socioeconomic strata, where contraception is not known about because there is not much awareness about it. And you can see that by the amount of population our country has. If you're a little girl or in your teenage years or a woman or someone even older, please remember that you don't have to fear being judged, you don't have to be embarrassed, and you don't have to worry about going and seeking help. If you can't talk to someone at home, please understand that there's a lot of us who are very accessible, non-judgmental, and available for you.
It is said that when you educate a woman, you educate an entire generation. नारी सशक्तिकरण पर ये पंक्तियां हमारे दिल को जोश और हिम्मत से भर देती हैं। ऐसी ही हिम्मत भरी कहानी अभी हमने सुनी जोश टॉक्स पर और हमें उससे काफ़ी प्रेरणा भी मिली। ऐसी ही कहानी है लक्ष्मी जी की, जिन्होंने CS करके बड़े शहर में वो आए जॉब का सपना लेके, पर उन्हें यहाँ जॉब नहीं मिल पाई। पर उन्होंने हिम्मत नहीं हारी, जोश के साथ उन्होंने कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पर काम किया और आज एक बड़ी कंपनी में वो काम कर रही हैं। लक्ष्मी जी की ही तरह कई स्टूडेंट्स जैसे कि वैशाली जी, नीला, प्रणाली, आरती और उषा जी ने मिलके जोश स्किल्स के साथ विभिन्न स्किल्स जैसे कि स्पोकन इंग्लिश, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट, फाइनेंस, बिजनेस बिल्डिंग सीखकर आज अपनी अलग पहचान बनाई है। आज ही अपने जैसे लाखों स्टूडेंट के साथ भारत के नंबर 1 स्पोकन इंग्लिश लर्निंग ऐप जोश स्किल्स ऐप के साथ अपनी इंग्लिश लर्निंग जर्नी शुरू करें।
Josh Talks is now a Spotify exclusive podcast. The audio version of our talks will be available only on Spotify. If you like this video and you like to listen to more inspiring stories like this, please follow the Josh Talks podcast only on Spotify.